felt this whole energy in my body is very strong.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Consciousness of One. I am your host, Jeffrey Weinstein. I'm joined once again by Sonya Sunheart, spiritual coach, spiritual leader, spiritual influencer, and light worker. Welcome aboard, everybody, on this day, January 30th. I'm wearing my Canada T-shirt, so you can tell this is coming from Montreal, the great city of Montreal, and we are in Canada. I'm very proud to wear this little flag today. And guys out there with the truckers, everybody, whoever hears me, and great, you have it.
Yes.
You are showing your fearlessness, you're showing your intelligence, you're showing your sovereignty, going out there supporting the truckers, but not only supporting the truckers, supporting yourselves and fighting for your own freedom. People think, well, this is truckers. No, it's about everybody's freedom, which goes to show that the consciousness is one. We can never be divided. Yes. Never be divided by any kind of false, ignorant, untrue rhetoric. Mr. Justin Trudeau, let go of our country. Please step down, step aside for the new wave going through, the new awakening. The new regime is coming out. Where the new regime, the people will prevail in this awakening movement process. We will not relent. We will never stop until this government is folded. You step down, get out of politics permanently. Thank you very much for your service. Your services are no longer required. Thank you very much. Free Canada, free Canada, free Canada.
And let's free our world while we're at it, because we can have that ripple effect right now, just like
free
the virus.
Canada, free the world.
Across
it's amazing
borders.
It's amazing how we have become such a great example from countries that before didn't even know very much about Canada. They're saying, "Oh, Canada, wow!" From everywhere, Italy, Greece, Scandinavian countries, all over the world, joining in as one. We are the freest country in the world. We have to manifest this freedom and hold on for our freedom and fight for our freedom. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for the past 10 days.
Amazing. Thank you for that. As much as I'm not a big nation state flag bearing person in general, because I do believe that it justifies a lot of the wars and the military industrial complex and soldiers and all of that, I also recognize when it's time to stand together as one nation. And I hope that we can transcend even that and become one human family across borders and actually be free, because we really do need to grow up and become the next level civilization. This is where we need to be at this time. And there's been delays for that. And now is our time to say, you know what, this is enough. Enough is enough. And I think Canadians who are very patient, kind, humble, valiant people, hardworking people. They're known around the world to be, kind and generous. I think that it's just it's a beautiful reflection, we are standing up and saying, like, we're not usually protesters, we're not usually complainers so much. I feel, and now it's like, okay, this is enough. And the fact that it's truckers and even the police is being nothing's going on. It's very, very quiet and pacifist.
Well, this is something, it's so unifying, because this crosses all lines, left, right, center, moderate, everything, every kind of label you can imagine under the sun. And because this is the truth, people. And it will go, this is the perpetual, eternal truth. Every being born on this earth lives to thrive with one most important value, lives to thrive in freedom. Everybody wants freedom. Without freedom, there is no life. If you are against freedom, you are not for the life, you are for the death.
Yeah, and in our constitution in Canada, it's actually our rights and freedoms. The fundamental freedom is the freedom of conscience and religion, freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media of communication. And so we have been witnessing the suppression of this fundamental human right, and it goes against our constitutional laws. And so there are lawyers gathering, and many have been, gathering their forces to face this insanity of dictatorship that we have never known in Canada, really, to this extent, and now are realizing that, you know what, like, we need to stand for our fundamental rights and freedoms right now, because they're taken away, and these are not the higher laws. These are not. And that's why we need to come together to stand for what this is. And we're not using arms, we're not using force, we're using peaceful, pacifist movement of joining forces. And this is the most powerful thing in the world, to be joining in love and saying, never again are we going to repeat history like what we saw in Nazi Germany. Never again are we going to. And I think this needs to be the message loud and clear for all of the nation states on the planet, so that we can unite forces for real, not under some fake banners of, the G8 or the G20 making decisions behind closed doors or in Davos, for these over 200 countries on the planet. Why are they dictating who gets what and who gets to eat and who doesn't? And like, what? When did we ever say yes to this? Never. That's not democracy. So we need to fundamentally rethink our systems.
It's merely serving the will of a very tiny minority of people
and
in
everybody
Canada
knows that
or
now.
the world. And this is the nature of globalism. Globalism serves what they call the 1%, but it's even less than 1%, actually. It's more like 0.01% of the world's population who are going to benefit from all this world order control. And we are fighting for a freedom of one humanity, one people, one world, one love.
Yes, exactly. And we're not just hippies. we're all kinds of people. Right?
No, it's not a hippie movement. No. It's not we actually, this has more power than that sort of counter-revolution, because it crosses all lines of different groups in a society. And like what you were saying before, someone said, I don't remember who it was, but he said, like, Canadians are very nice, they're very polite and courteous and everything until they're pushed too far.
Yes.
But we got pushed with our backs against the wall with these pandemic COVID restrictions after nearly 2 years. Until you push us far enough, that's when we react. That's when we're not so docile anymore. That's when we take action. That's when we speak out and we're not so quiet anymore.
That's right. It's like self-defense, and as much as I'm on the spiritual path, you will get comments, you will get rejection, you will get all of that. But this is where you are, choosing your divine sovereignty. You're claiming. I wouldn't even say we're fighting anymore for our freedom. I would say that we are claiming our birthright to freedom. It is our birthright when we are born to be free and sovereign beings. And when those rights get taken away, it starts to be a slippery slope. And we've seen that in the last 2 years. Oh, it's going to be 2 weeks, just a vaccine, and then, another one, and then another one. And now they're saying it's not going to end. We're going to have eternal viruses and vaccines until what? Everybody's a zombie? Like when the like
Yeah.
it was announced by Bill Gates, one of the top 1% that has been. So we
Yeah.
have to speak it out.
Because now it's become too obvious right now at this
That's it.
point. It's
So
flagrantly, it's egregious, it's flagrant, it's so evident in the court of public opinion. You could
yeah,
see clearly that they don't want to stop the vaccines. They want to introduce a fourth, and then a fifth, then a
exactly.
sixth,
Yeah.
and saying they'll do this every year, 2 or 3 times a year. No way.
No.
No way.
And
It
again,
stops right here and it
yeah,
finishes and we go back to living.
exactly. And this is what's so beautiful about this movement is it's transcending vax, non-vax. It's like we're not gonna not gonna jump into their game of divide and conquer. Some are still clinging to that because they want it. They're on the mainstream narrative, and for them it's going to be just too hard because
They're
once you
afraid.
they're
They're
afraid because
living
their
in
whole
so
reality
much
collapses.
fear.
That's right.
Oh, I have to be a
It's fear.
slave. They're going to kill me. I'm going to
And we
die. I have to be a
yep,
slave. Oh
yeah,
no, I
I
can't
know,
disagree. I can't revolt. I
I
have to be
know,
a good little slave.
I know. But
No,
the
not true.
compassion, that's where we have to be bigger than playing into that game of
You're
division
totally
and
giving that power
hatred.
away to
Yeah,
government and the political elites that control government
exactly.
and the exoteric elites that control the political elites,
Yes,
which it would be
exactly.
shocking for 99% of people to learn about this. It would be shocking and mind blowing to learn about this.
Yes.
Um, um, which ties in a way to what Dr. StevenGreer's work, what he's doing, and everything he's exposed. He is working. He wants to expose the national security, military-industrial complex state entirely discredit him.
Right.
Totally fearless for the past 31 or 32 years, completely
Right.
fearless.
Mm.
And
Yeah. I think of even David Icke and Joe Rogan. I mean, thankfully, Joe Rogan now is going like really, he's having the most views on Spotify. And so people are, I think, waking up very quickly. And I think we're
yeah,
like, maybe we've already reached the 100th monkey syndrome, the tipping point, which has been my prayer is like that it's gonna happen very soon in my lifetime, but hopefully sooner than later. And I do feel like, but now what we need to do is look at, okay, how do we, what, who represents the people the best, and how are we going to be building these systems where we're including, you know, true health, wealth, and happiness in citizens, and but not just people, not just the ego consciousness or the human consciousness in general, but like everything, all of the biosphere, the all of the biodiversity, and so there's a lot of like work for us to do in so many different levels. But again, we know that everything is consciousness. So if we can all come to that place of togetherness in the collective consciousness, and I think this is what's been happening is we're able to dream and visualize more and more this symbiotic relationship with our planet and with each other, beyond
yeah, yeah,
separation. And this
yeah.
is where it's going to get
Yeah.
you know
Well, if you read Paul Wallace or listen to Paul Wallace, if you listen to these audio podcasts that I got, I'm privileged. I was privileged to receive that audio podcast amongst other esoteric and highly enlightened, um, like um, um, like metaphysically conscious podcasts as well, with some brilliant people that were being interviewed. And there's Paul Willis, ex-clergyman, ex-Anglican clergyman, Australian from Australia, and he did research, mounds and mounds and years, many years of research to uncover the most likely story of the origins of humanity,
Mm.
and it covered up in the Bible, omitted from the Bible.
Mm.
The story of Genesis is totally untrue, completely
Okay.
untrue.
Mm.
That we um, evolved and were hybridized, enslaved, and colonized by an alien race. And they've been labeled, called giants. They, alien beings, were on the earth 10,000 or so years ago, up until 10,000 or 12,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then they left. They left behind their custodians. These custodians, the descendants of these people, people in Greek mythology and other traditions of mythology, they thought they were gods, but they were the comprador rulers for this alien civilization, this malevolent, like you were mentioning to me before we went live, this malevolent civilization of beings. All the evidence, all the indecises, all the proof is there. Whether you can digest it or accept it, you just have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you can digest it or accept it or not, it's there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. It's there. And it is the most intelligent, logical story, narrative, explanation of how we got to where we are right now. Why, how human civilization was seeded, how our human civilization evolved and was seeded, what our origins, what's our heritage is. Well, we do have alien heritage. We do have alien bloodlines and genetic lines, DNA. There is alien DNA in humans. We're not just mammalians.
Mm.
You know, we couldn't evolve a complex modern civilization with highly intuitive, powerful beings like we have now if this
Right.
wasn't the case. Um,
And then,
so like these giants or these beings, the descendants of these beings went on to be rulers, kings, emperors, Roman emperors. Roman civilization took what happened, the whole story of Jesus, and mythologized it to make people believe that Jesus is coming back and Jesus will be your personal savior. And if you don't believe in Jesus, you will be condemned to the eternal fires of damnation. You know, and I had a friend like that. She was like, whoa, she's heavy into that, born again Christian. This
yeah,
says, I'm worried about you, Jeffrey. Accept
yeah,
Jesus into your heart. I don't want you to go to hell. You know,
yeah.
accept
It's
Jesus
funny.
as your person.
I understand her perspective in a way, but it's not Jesus as a man. It's a consciousness. It's the Christ consciousness, the
Yes. Yeah.
illumination, right? Of us realizing,
Yeah.
self-realizing that we are one in Christ consciousness, and we need
Yeah.
to. That's coming from within us. That's
Yeah.
why the kingdom of God is within, and all. It's all coded, but some
You
people
see,
will
all the mystics, then
literally.
all of the Western mystics and the mystics coming from India,
Mm.
they seeded that truth and knowledge that no, it's a consciousness of oneness.
That's right.
It's not a man saving the world and
No,
doing hocus pocus and being a god. It's not Son of God. It's not the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. No, it's
no,
the consciousness.
right.
It's a force, a power of
Yeah,
love, which is love is God.
yes.
The
That was
consciousness is
the
God.
teachings,
Doesn't.
whether that's
Mm,
exactly what the teachings are always about, is that love
mm,
transcends fear, it unites
yeah.
us. But it's easier said than done, right? Because when you're confronted by aggression, all kinds, it's like you turn the other cheek. That doesn't mean you run away or whatever, but it means I'm not going to even bother inter going to that vibration. I'm not going to allow myself to go into the fear vibration, and the
Yeah.
because a lot
Yeah.
of religious people are clinging to that as a way to give them comfort and all that. And if you go against that, to them, you're an enemy. Or so they haven't yet transcended that. And that's where, again, it's like just allowing what people need to express and whatever they need to, without it affecting you personally, because you can't be a guide or a spiritual teacher or assist people on the journey, or even just be a good, citizen making wise decisions, and seeing through the lies, if you're not able to, see a bigger picture and not get stuck in whatever uh, program, whether it's a religious or your culture or even your country, because patriotism is can be beautiful, but we know the flip side to that too, and there's always the two sides. So it's really
Yeah,
transcending the duality
yeah.
and
But I
becoming.
mean, you can't there. But I mean, there's patriotism and there's nationalism. Patriotism can be a
Mhm.
very positive force
Mm,
to bring together people
well said. Yeah,
in a
that's
country if they need to defend themselves against external threats from other countries, or to, it's all right to be born in a country and to love your country. That's patriotism. But
right.
nationalism is believing that my country is the greatest country in the world, and any foreign manipulations or immigration or policies or politics that goes against our ideas is a threat to our nation, and we have to hold on to the concept of the nation state,
Hmm.
which is antiquated. That's nationalism, which is
Yeah,
it's a dangerous ideology.
it is. It justifies war, and
Yeah,
we don't want that anymore. Like this was the first wave of the '60s, and then continued throughout. But now it's like a crescendo. It's like we're arriving at that. I hope that climax of the Great Awakening, and then transcending and going into really a higher dimensional frequency
oh
reality, where
yes,
our
oh yeah,
consciousness, because we know that we're conscious creators. And I've seen that in my own life, when I'm aligned, how quickly things will manifest, and open doors will open. And like, there's angels on earth too, where you will have the right person at the right time, and all this is synchronized. You're in
yeah,
synchronicity.
yeah,
Deepak Chopra calls it synchro destiny.
yeah.
And
Well, you are, Sonia, you are one of our angels
well,
here in this community, representing us here in this center, in this location.
well, I'm
You are what you're doing is truly powerful, truly angelic, for to um, be a source of empowerment for a lot of people. So
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I feel like we're the angelic human is the next level version of us, and
yeah,
it's there for all of us. It's just
yeah,
energy flows where attention goes. So I've been focused a lot on this path, and I've hit a lot of obstacles, and I've had to leave a lot of people, even the closest, and that's been extremely painful. But again, I feel like the rewards are just so incredible, because you're choosing your soul
yeah,
path. And once you're on your
yeah,
soul
yeah,
path, even though you've gone through, not just one dark night of the soul, I think we have waves of them throughout. And maybe eventually it'll get easier and easier, which is why I feel like the waves of consciousness and pioneering, we're always serving the whole of humanity. And that's where we transcend our little personality, and we become our soul self. There's a merge that happens. And this is what I've come to understand is, like you talked about patriotism and nationalism, how different they are. It's like self-confidence and self-love are this is our birthright as well. But often you're going to be told you're self-centered, you're narcissistic, you're this, you're that. But that's a different uh that's another twist on it. It's like, so it's subtle, perhaps, to people that from the outside they can't see the
yeah,
inner work, and they can't, or they don't want to hear it because it's gonna shake up their own darkness and they're not ready to face it. So this is, you can't force people to have an awakening or to listen. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear will see and hear the truth through the illusion that we are separate and that we are physical beings and all of that. We transcend that. But then we have to live as a person, as a human, in a world that where most people are not yet very aware of that. So again, it's like sending love constantly in the field to uh to raise the vibration and to be in consciousness, and then you be your human self and have to interact with the reality. But honestly, my reality is I've been meeting beautiful people that I feel aligned with, that so mostly, once in
Yeah.
a while
Yeah.
I get a little but
Mm.
abrupt person. But then again, I just brush it off in love and
Yeah.
say, okay, no problem, like
Yeah.
here. But I'm allowed to be where I am, who I am. I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
that I am. Once you claim
Yeah.
that, there's no going back,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you're very
yeah.
grateful.
We're light beings. Like Dolores Cannon talks about this too in her books. We are light beings, and also we, each individual being incarnated. The human being is the highest incarnation on the planet Earth in our biological ecosystem.
Hmm.
And so every human being has to know their own greatness, that we were born sovereign, powerful, and almighty. We do not need to be subservient to any physical anthropomorphic god or institution.
Yes.
We are sovereign, self governing, and naturally intelligent, and we don't need to be dumbed down. We don't need our intelligence be muddled by any government or religious propaganda.
And yes, and I would add to that the dumbing down and all of that with our diets, the chemicals that are sprayed in our food, on our
Well,
foods.
that was all part of the plan. That was all part
That's
of the
it.
plot. That was
Well,
all part of
and it's
the
not like
conspiracy.
exactly. And that's it. Conspiracy theory and all these things created by the CIA. It's like when you know your history, you can speak more confidently and say,
Mm.
"Look, we
Well,
we're
yeah,
we know that this has been going on for quite a while, and the dumbing down of humanity. Most people, they want simple life. They want to be with their families. They want to live
yeah,
a good
yeah,
life. But what does
yeah,
that entail? Health is number one too. Like as a physical being, if you don't have a healthy environment, and we're seeing that, so we need to really look
yeah,
at the bigger picture and what does it take to be a healthy, happy human being, and can we put our public money and our public policies to serve the people for real and get rid of the toxins in our environment. Like I'm part of a movement, I'd like to mention it. It's the Million Mom movement for ending glyphosates in food systems, which is the Roundup pesticide that causes is proven to cause cancer. And there's so much of it in like Cheerios and General Mills, all those
yeah,
products, and I've been boycotting this for such a long time.
yeah,
For me,
yeah,
it's obvious, but I would like to put it out there for anybody watching that we need to end the war against health and wellness and mental wellness and gut health, and it all
yeah,
goes together.
yeah.
So we need to connect
And
the dots.
our human bodies are so sophisticated and powerful if you harness the abilities and this internal energy and power,
Yes.
that the body can heal itself. The body internal systems are self
Yes.
restorative. We can cleanse ourselves of all the toxins and pollutants that come from food, come from the environment, come up from our water. We can detoxify and restore our health to an optimum
Yes.
level, optimum homeostatic level. And Bruce Lipton touches on this a lot.
Yes.
And for people out there, I highly recommend that you read Bruce Lipton,
Oh,
listen to his videos,
yeah.
like invaluable information. Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, and Win Hof.
Yeah.
Those
They're great.
three are bring
Yes.
remarkable information and knowledge to humanity
Yeah.
that
And they're
is
combining it.
had been shunned for decades by the mainstream because they're afraid of this stuff.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're afraid of losing power and control over national or global populations.
That's right. That's right. And
So,
thankfully, we have
mhm,
these brave, like biologists like Bruce Lipton, who actually had to lose his job because once he discovered that the environment has more impact on the cell than like on the genetics, it's the environment versus the cells would change depending on which environment they were in, right? So that shows for us too. We're all born like pure and beautiful, but then the environment that you're in, whether you have toxic parents or schools that
mm,
brainwash you and food that is toxic and all these things accumulated. I mean, you can get pretty jaded by the time you're 7, 8 years old if you haven't, and the Jesuits said, like, give me the child until he's 7 and I will show you the man, which means that those
mm,
7 years are fundamental to the programming that children get. And then the way that you're going to perceive and understand yourself and your reality. So this is where we, like, the first thing to do would be to change our school systems and to incorporate, mindfulness, meditation, self-awareness, self-care, self-love, all of these things into school so that children can be empowered to honor their unique self. This is what they used to
mm,
do in Native American tribes as well, is they knew that each one was a unique part of the whole and they valued and loved each one for who they were, and not trying to make one cookie cutter or competitive, this one's intelligent, this one's stupid, this one. That is so crushing to the human soul and for
yeah,
children. And that's what we've been healing from. I know for me, I've done so much work on myself because I had the most toxic mother, and she, because she was brutally hurting and she never, loved herself and all this. So that was all brought into, the family. And I'm not the only one, and I'm not the type to go into victimhood, but I feel like most of us are on that healing, journey of finally loving and accepting yourself and knowing yourself. And you have
oh
to
yes, yeah,
you
mm,
have to go
mm,
within to do that, and you have to self nurture and trust yourself, because when you're burnt by so many people around you, because you're not going to understand until you finally go within and find your own, and go and the sacred texts and do your own seeking, so that you can find your answers. And they are, yeah, this is where we're at. I think we need to, and I've done a lot, and I'm still here, so I still have work to do, but I'm here also to assist people
mm,
on that journey to really go into that self-loving place and fill your
yeah,
own cup, and then
yeah,
be in the world the way you are meant to show up, healthy and happy and bright and aware and conscious.
yeah. They're talking about micro healing on an individual person to person basis. The
Yes.
micro healing is so essential to macro healing,
Ex-
healing the entire environment, our
yeah,
entire ecosystem, because it's interconnected. It's not
exactly.
separate. It's
Mhm.
all one.
Exactly.
It's it's like how you think, your thoughts manifest in your body through your cells, will manifest in your health.
Mm.
The thoughts, well, the thought uh, germinates vibrations. That's why, like, the ancient Indians had an ancient modern. They were a million years ahead of their time with this science of yoga and meditation, that your internal thoughts and what you repeat to yourself using a mantra affects your vibrations. Your vibrations affects your personal chi energy, raising the level of the vibratory cycles, power rhythms of all your chakras in your body, and connecting to the higher, because we have higher chakras. We have up to 12 chakras.
Yeah. And
Beyond this, and
the link between the two worlds is actually
yeah,
the corona, the crown, the corona. And recently
that's
I was just making that link with right now, that
yeah,
the what's going on and how the
yeah.
messages are there for us to see.
That's the porthole of this, and this they developed this science of yoga at vibratory transformation, connecting with the human being physically, emotionally, and spiritually to the universal vibrations of our planet and all entire solar system, all our galaxy, and all the other galaxies. And this ties right into the work that's Dr. StevenGreer is doing with CE5, connecting with it. If you watch the movie Acknowledged, and he'll tell this whole story and about the CE5 protocols that he developed 30 years ago, and to actually join in group the vibration meditation group with other people, whether it's in person or online, digitally, but to harness such energy to be able to reach way beyond our planet, way deep in the universe, to other alien civilizations.
And again,
are interested in us. They realize that we are one with the multitude of alien civilizations that are largely unknown but are being discovered more and more as time goes on, thanks to people like Dr. StevenGreer, bringing this fearlessly, courageously into the mainstream through working with top level people in the US government and other governments, and to say the alien threat is false. It's a false flag. It's a false flag as a lever as the ultimate last resort lever of control of the top secret shadow government elites.
That's right.
That are controlled by malevolent alien races that are extremely powerful. That's why they have so much power, because where they're getting their power from is way beyond anything human. It's alien.
And there's some cultivation of negative force, negative. They call it loosh, which is negative energy, and so they feed off fear. And not only that, but there's sacrifice, and there's a whole thing happening that once you go down that rabbit hole, you're like, oh my God, I don't really want to see or know this. And it's because it's too dark, right? But the thing is, if you don't face the darkness, if you're just bypassing, whether it's in yourself or in our human collective, as to what has actually occurred on this planet, you're not going to be able to actually be in the light. So it's this place where you must face your darkness and transcend it, transmute it actually into gold. Like, this is the real alchemy, from lead into gold. And the golden age, if you really want to step into it, we need to transmute the darkness within ourselves, because we take full responsibility for ourselves and our own darkness. We're not victims anymore of our past, of our parents, of our culture. We're like claiming that, and saying, okay, yeah, I came from a darker time. The vibrations, it was a denser time to learn. And now I've learned, and I'm able to graduate into my next level. And this is what we need to do right now, is graduate to our next level and join the confederation of intergalactic, beings that Because imagine
Yeah.
how interesting our world can get once we
Yeah.
are connecting to that within ourselves, because really that portal is within us as well, the Merkaba, and the technologies that
Yeah.
are opening up to us once we really, really say that we can do that. And if you wouldn't mind, Jeffrey, I'd like to read this declaration of sovereignty in the name of anybody who feels that they're ready to claim their sovereignty in themselves, to stand strong in their own sovereign divinity. And because when you're sovereign, that's when the kingdom opens. This is the majesty of being alive and fully living a true embodied with wise human life. Okay, so if we're ready to do that, we can declare it, and we can resonate it out into the field through the vibration of our heart, which is the most powerful magnetic force that we actually have in our bodies. And I know this through my own research and experience. Through Sunheart is my own experience of merging with everything from the heart, and the mystical experiences that that come from that experience. So and yoga talks about all that, also union with the divine. So I, sovereign free human and spiritual being, standing as equal among the members of the galactic community, request of my own free will on behalf of the people of Terra, assistance from the Galactic Federation of Worlds to expel malevolent and invasive extraterrestrial forces out of this world definitely, and to end their occupation and liberate the people of Terra, this planet, from slavery. That any previous agreement made with malevolent extraterrestrial forces in the past be rescinded. For by their own free will, the people of Terra are reclaiming their own planet. The people of Terra are reclaiming their rights and their sovereignty. The people of Terra make now agreement with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. May this agreement be set in the infinity of the stars and the eternity of time. May peace and justice always prevail.
Yes. Can you please post that in your group and
Yes.
post it to other uh, Facebook groups attached to this truck convoy? That would be like most appreciated if you could send it to your share it around, and if people could send it to their political representatives, that would be like freaking awesome. This is mind blowing. This is unprecedented. This has never been seen in the last 2,000 years, in the last 10 or 12,000 years. Finally, humanity is waking up. This is joyous. This is
Yes.
unbelievably, this is our time. We
Yes.
worked for this all our lives,
Maybe many
lifetime
lives.
after lifetime,
That's it.
many lives,
Yeah,
from
many.
lifetime to lifetime and lifetime, going back to the lifetime when we were alien, when we were not even incarnated as human. We were incarnated as advanced alien beings and flying around in our spaceships. We were we were
I don't remember
intergalactic
that
beings,
part,
but we
but
are still intergalactic beings because
yes.
we are seeded from the stars. We are star
Mm.
seeds.
And we're
This is
blossoming
the true
now.
nature of
This is it.
our
They
life,
tried they
of
tried
our
to bury us,
existence.
right? They tried to bury us, but they forgot that we were star seeds. And now that the galactic sun is emanating, we're going closer and closer. The photonic belt is activating our sun, which is creating coronal mass ejections, and which is pulsing around our planet and creating the Schumann resonance has been really off the charts in the last few years. So we are in it. We're in that portal to ascension. And whether we like, now I'm going to speak about it because I know that I have brothers and sisters across this globe that I'm connected with, and with people that were joining forces, and we're just like, look, I'm going to speak my truth, even if they call me crazy. They always call people crazy when they're ahead of their time. This is just the way it is here. So just do it. Speak your truth. Stand in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
sovereignty. because you're making that pact, and your future self is thanking you right now
There
for
has never
doing
been
what
any
you're doing.
human progress without someone or a group of
Yeah.
persons calling that genius person crazy. They called Albert Einstein crazy when he came out with
There
theory of
you go.
relativity. They called Carl Jung crazy when he came out with all his great knowledge and archetypes. They ostracized him
Right.
from the medical community.
So that's it.
This
Don't be
this is
afraid.
it.
This is it.
This is it. This is the path, the process, the dynamics of human progress, the progress of our civilization that other higher civilizations, higher beings have been watching, hoping for, and waiting for
That's right.
thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
So we can be that bridge into
So,
the ascension. So
like
this
Dr. StevenGreer says, he even said, he'll say that in his video, in the movie, he says, so we can be free at last as a human civilization and join the intergalactic community of our brethren and sisters, our brothers and sisters
wow,
out
it's gonna
there
get
in the universe.
epic times to be alive,
It,
because if we
yeah,
claim it, it's already in our
mm,
reality. It's just that we're going towards it, but we've already planted that
mm,
seed, right? And the star seeds, that's it. We're blossoming. We're not going to stay hidden anymore. Like, we've been in the darkness long enough, and now we need to just support each other, and yeah, enjoy the
mm,
journey, the human journey
mm.
of ascension.
Those who are not
Oh,
with
yeah.
fear
Hi.
join this mission,
You can see it.
come upon our join our convoy of freedom. I'm not talking about trucks. Join our metaphysical convoy of power and freedom, those without fear, those with higher intelligence,
Yeah.
those who are open, those who approach life and change with an open heart and open mind, accepting the truth, who do not perceive love and truth as existential threats. Join us.
Join
All of
us.
the rest who are in fear and doubt and darkness and negativity will be left behind. I guarantee you this. I promise you this. Love is the message. It's been promulgated for almost 60 years, and the flame this time will never ever go out. Ever.
Yay.
Claim your power. Claim your power. Do not be afraid. We are fearless beings. We are love beings. We are God beings. We are eternal, immortal beings.
Hallelujah to that. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. That was a big love fest with my cat, because
Your cat too is one with the cat too wanted to join
he
in on
wanted to
this
join in on the love fest because
ocean of consciousness.
it's a vibration, exactly. And she knows when I'm meditating, when my heart is opening, and she feels it, and she wants to bask in it. So this is when our auric fields just expand, and our crown, and we become one with everything. And this is what's happening. And I want to just align with that as much as I can, and to be a living, breathing example of what's possible, because we need to embody those teachings and the wisdom, not just know it from a mental sphere, but really embody it into our very cellular structure, into our DNA. It's lighting up right now. There's no such thing as junk DNA. Nature doesn't do that. Nature just waits until the right timing, and the timing of our galactic activation through the photonic belt that our whole solar system is flying through right now is activating us. So we
Yeah,
either go
yeah.
with the flow
The
and
switches are going
let
on.
it
That's
let
it.
it light up,
Yeah.
or we stay in the darkness, and we we suffer. And I know which choice I've made, and I'm just asking, I'm just sharing that information for those open-minded enough, and those who aren't.
We have to
God,
say,
God,
Canada, the light is on. Our lights are on.
our lights are
This is a
on.
message to our
That's right.
American friends, who we love very much, and have a lot of friends and family in the United States. And it hurts me to see what's going on there. All the division and the pain and suffering. The pain and suffering will end. Do not give hope.
Yeah.
If you can escape, come to Canada. Our house is open. Our lights are on. Everybody around the world, come to Canada. Never mind what the government says. We love you all. Come to Canada. Our lights are on. Canada. Canada. We are freedom. We are free people. We are conscious, intelligent beings, the citizens and residents of Canada. And for this, I am very proud, and we could all be proud. We are proud Canadians.
Proud citizens of Terra, planet Earth, and the galactic fields. I feel connected to it all, and that is my truth right now. And I want us to unify as much as we can to transcend the duality and the darkness and go into more and more of that, so that we can live our best lives with nature and with each other the way we were meant to. So
we are all humans of the world.
Yes.
We embrace you. I embrace you. We embrace you. All light workers of the world are here to support you. We love you. We embrace you. We embrace you, no matter who you are, where you come from, and what background. We are one. This is the message that is putting forth to this oppressive, tyrannical system of government, and this oppressive, tyrannical government and leader who is mixed up. He's confused. He's afraid. He's a scared little child. He's hiding. He runs away and hides with Coward 19. When I saw that, I almost fell on the floor laughing. And
I know it's a little tongue there.
And it's no wonder why he's the butt of so many jokes for so many years. Mr. True Dope, and get off the crack, Justin. Get off the crack and wake up. Step down. Take a break. Retire. Go to India. Now you're going to have the time to take all the vacations you want with your family. You won't have responsibility with Prime Minister. You should be glad. You should be thrilled.
That's right. He's probably thrilled.
Go to Tino, BC, or wherever. Go to India. Go to China. Go wherever you want. You're free now. We are freeing you to do whatever you want. Just stay out of our government. Thank you very much. We got this one. Canada, Canadians, we got this one.
We need a real government. We don't want to replace one puppet.
Real government.
That's over now.
And we will make sure that we have a government that is going to protect our freedoms and fight for our social justice and help with the nurturing and development of humanity.
Yes, I think we need a council for that. I don't think we need to put one man in power anymore. I think we've shown how over and over that does not work. So I would like to recommend that we think about a council, and that everything is transparent, the budgets, the decisions, so that people can actually know what's going on. I want transparency, integrity, and dignity, and that's it. Solidarity with what the people actually need to have a healthy life. So this is the deepest prayer, and together, when two or more gather, there we are, where Jeffrey and I are representing one aspect of consciousness, and we hope that you enjoyed this transmission together. And I certainly did. I'm always learning, and about Jeffrey, about me, about our ideas, and about what's possible. And it's very exciting. I feel I feel the heart expansion. I feel the excitement of this next chapter that we're starting. This is the beginning. It's the end and it's the beginning, and it's not an easy place to be sometimes, but we're here, we are, and we're in that portal and we're going. So,
Yeah, but you
yeah,
know where the easy place to be is in your heart. And
exactly. That's the
we
best
can't
always.
forget, if you're in
Can't
your
never.
heart, you're in an easy place all the
That's right.
time.
All the time. Thank you. That's a great reminder. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your brilliance and intelligence
Thank
and
you for
great
your
high vibrational energy. And and that's it. And very grateful to our great Canadian fellow Canadians, the truckers, and everybody else who joined them in support to make this
yes, yes.
um, a huge wave, a huge love fest, and
Amazing.
movement for freedom and
Yes.
ascension.
Blessings to every one of us. Thank you. Bye.
Mm. Okay, that's it, folks. For all of you who are going to see this video after the fact, thank you for tuning in, taking time, even if it's just a little bit of time, to watch this particular video and be inspired and to be appreciated. We appreciate you. We appreciate Canada. We appreciate the world. We appreciate the fact that we live across the border from a great country, the United States, and we hope that it will become great again. It will not become great again if there is fascist, authoritarian, dictatorial, totalitarian control, as it has been for past several decades at least, and we will all be free. We will all live in freedom and follow your heart, follow your mind. Your heart is pure, and keep your thoughts pure, keep your heart pure, and remember, ease is within you. The easy is in your heart. It is the most powerful element of your entire being that transcends even your body, your physical being. You are connected to a much greater um, movement, humanity, the universe, and the multitude of universe. This is the multiverse. So, for all of you, I say good afternoon, good night, stay safe, and stay beautiful.